Sandi Toksvig and welcome to the last in the present series of What the Dickens, the panel game that looks at all forms of culture, books, films, plays and musicals, and asks, is nothing safe from Ben Elton? Our captains are a comedian who's delivered a series of lectures on civilization, Chris Addison, and a comedian who might have benefited from listening to them, Sue Perkins. Chris's guest is a 5'0" comedian described universally as petite and by me as a towering colossus. It's Lucy Porter. And Sue's guest is a writer and broadcaster who once stood for election as a Labour candidate but now says he has no serious political ambition, so clearly on the verge of a move to the Lib Dems. It's John O'Farrell. The first round is, as ever, 3 steps to heaven. Teams are given 3 photographs, each a clue to a film, book, play or musical. 3 giant points are awarded if they can guess the answer from the thorny first picture, dropping to just 1 point for the ludicrously simple third. So Sue and John kick us off. It's an Austrian stamp featuring the Governor of California, Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The Mighty Oak, as he's known. That was his name when he was still pumping iron, presumably because of the acorn to be found nestling in those
You might inadvertently have hit upon something there. I'm just going to throw that in.
Oklahoma!
Just keep that in your...
Oak.
Okay, let's have a look at the second. Now, these unpleasant-looking creatures occasionally emerge from the bedclothes to feed
Mites.
on...
Bedbugs?
Well, things that come out of the bedclothes and feed on what remnants they can scavenge are usually teenagers, but these are... mother of 3. And in fact, they're dust mites. Any thoughts?
Dust mites, California dust bowl. Is it John Steinbeck? John Steinbeck?
Of Mice and Men.
No.
Grapes of Wrath.
The Grapes of Wrath, absolutely right. Let's just have a quick look at the third photo, which obviously would have given it away. This is
Steinbeck, isn't it?
Former Human League frontman Phil Oakey. He looks like the victim of a trainee hairdresser to me, but because the answer is John Steinbeck's classic 1939 novel, The Grapes of Wrath. California, in this case, was the utopian destination for the struggling sharecropper Tom Joad and his family. Those pesky mites represent the catastrophic dust storm that destroyed the family's livelihood, and Oakey is the nickname given to Joad and his fellow migrant workers from Oklahoma. So 2 points. Well done. Has anybody actually read this book? And
Yes.
yes, liked it?
Yes, very much so.
I love Steinbeck.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just read of Mice and Men this summer.
did you?
In California, which was a very nice place to read it.
It is something about reading those books on location. It's like going to Long Island and reading The Great Gatsby or something.
This is why I found it difficult to read The Lord of the Rings. The volcano behind me, these enormous
this year.
If you read it with me next year, then it would be like having a hobbit.
Yeah, that's true.
I could have just run around with hairy feet.
At the end of the film, the character Rose breastfeeds a starving man, and some commentators suggest that this illustrates the spontaneous mutual sharing that led to a new awareness of collective values, whereas others said they just like seeing a pair of tits. So there. Over to Chris and Lucy. Here is your first image.
Is it a goat or a dog?
It is a goat.
It's a goat.
That looks like Edwina Curry.
Goat curry.
Goat curry is in fact.
It's set in the West Indies.
I can tell you it's a 1954 Christmas party at Regent's Park Zoo.
Has the goat just come round to complain about the noise?
Any thoughts?
Kid. The word kid.
Kid is, yes. You're helping them now.
Ooh.
Okay, let's have a look at the second
Dancing kid.
clue. They do say the church is becoming over-commercialised. It's actually just a rather ornate cash point or a hole in the wall, as it is sometimes described.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
It absolutely is, yeah. Let's have a look at the last photograph. Lots of cyclists, lots of rain.
Raindrops keep falling on my lens.
Yes, absolutely. The answer is the classic 1969 Western Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, starring Paul Newman and Robert Redford. First of all, a dance, a kid. To see what we've done there. Sundance Kid, frankly, it's genius. The pair were members of the notorious Hole in the Wall gang, and the raindrops and bicycles represent the film's famous musical interlude with Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, playing out under images of both Redford and Newman sharing a bicycle with Catherine Ross. So 2 points there. Well done. the gang originally given in the film and why it was changed to the Hole in the Wall gang in Butch
It's
Cassidy?
called the ATM gang, and they hadn't been invented yet.
It was originally called The Wild Bunch, and in fact, another film of the same name was released a few months earlier. Sundance is also the name of a film festival. There is also a Butch Film Festival, but the audience is a little bit more niche. And at the end of that first round, I can tell you it is an absolute dead heat. The second round is called Yes and I'm Mickey Mouse. The teams meet members of the public who share their names with famous fictional characters and must attempt to identify them via questions to which the answer can only be yes or no. Teams have 90 seconds to cross-examine each guest, after which they must take a guess at their identities. So Chris and Lucy, let's meet your fictional namesake. Hello there, Mr. Ellis, take a seat. And for the audience only, here is his name. Chris and Lucy, I can tell you that your mystery guest shares his name with a character from film, and your minute and a half begins now.
Are you from a modern film?
Yes.
Okay. Are you the hero of the film?
Yes.
Are you in the title of the film?
Yes.
Is it an American film?
Yes.
Are you Willy Wonka? I'm out.
Do you die in the film?
No.
Is it within the last 10 years this film's been released?
Yes.
Okay.
Did it win any Oscars? As far as you know.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
I'll go like that, yes, and you just move your mouth.
Is it a detective film?
No.
There's no detective in it, but there's a sort of detecting element.
Is it Brewster's Millions?
Yes, his name is Brewster Million.
Is it Brewster Millions?
His name is the title of the film.
Jackie Brown, you're cross-dressing.
Try and go for a big star.
Okay.
Is it a Tom Cruise film?
No.
No.
Is it Clooney?
Yes.
It's Clooney.
Danny Ocean? No.
No.
That's not the name of
Are
the
you Ocean 11? Are you Ocean 12?
What was it now? It was called. Oh, God, I know exactly what it was called, and I saw it. It had Tilda Swinton. He starts off, he's playing poker.
Okay, I'm going to pass it to the other side.
Michael Clayton.
It is Michael Clayton. Yes, this gentleman shares his name with the title character of the recent Oscar-nominated Michael Clayton, as played by George Clooney. So I'm afraid you were wrong when I gave a point there to Sue and John. So when the film came out, were you horrified or delighted to see your name on all these posters?
Quite delighted, really.
And what was the reaction of your friends and family?
Mainly text messages. Couldn't believe the billboards everywhere with the name on it. It's quite a
Clooney's
surprise.
face.
Yeah,
Are you surprised when George Clooney was picked to play you?
No.
Is it something that you now identify with?
In a way, yes. I mean, on Facebook, I have my profile is a picture of George Clooney.
His Facebook is a picture of you, ironically.
Thank you very much, Michael Clayton. George Clooney famously owned a huge Vietnamese pot-bellied pig named Max, and when he died 2 years ago, a heartbroken Clooney had him cremated. If anybody's interested, it's gas mark 5 for 3 hours. Sue and John, let's meet your fictional namesake. I can reveal that this lady shares her name with a character from a well-known song. And for the audience only, here is her name.
Nice.
Your 90 seconds begins now.
Is it a pop song?
Yes.
60s?
I think it's
Are you
early
Eleanor
70s.
Rigby?
Yeah.
Early 70s.
Are you by an American band writer? So British.
British? Are you sung by a male vocalist?
Yes.
Hey, British early 70s.
And is that the title of the song?
Yes.
What, was it? It was a group. Yeah, we said it was a group.
No.
Or is
It was a single male. Was it Rod Stewart? Are you Maggie May? Oh, I love a bit of Stewart.
This lady shares her name with Rod Stewart's, shall we say, mature lover in the song, Maggie May. So 2 points. So, Were you born, Maggie May? What was your original name?
Biles.
Biles. So did you marry the first man who came along?
Yes.
So yes.
The man came second.
And do you still have affection for the song? When you
Oh, love it. Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous song.
Terrific. Well, thank you very much, Maggie May. Rod Stewart says he's always been mystified by the song's success. And I agree, but why pick on just that song? I can tell you that at the end of that round, Chris and Lucy are trailing with 2 points, and well into the lead are John and Sue with 5. Well, we're just off to steal our daddy's cues and make a living out of playing pool. But before we do, try this teaser at home. The name of which famous film star appears by chance on the writing credits of Rod Stewart's double A-side, Hot Legs and I Was Only Joking. See you after the break. To What the Dickens. Before the break, I asked the name of which famous film star appears by chance on the writing credits of Rod Stewart's double A-side, Hot Legs and I Was Only Joking.
Buster Keaton.
No, Stewart is going to be one of the names.
Stuart Granger.
Stuart Granger, absolutely right. Very good. The songs were written by Rod Stewart and songwriting partner Gary Granger, and that was really good. And there's no points in it, but really lots of moral.
Sandi.
No, it's lovely.
That's good to know.
The next round is Love It or Loathe It. Our guests have chosen a subject or genre from the arts which either makes them jump in the air with delight or reduces them to embarrassing baby tears. However, they must display how they might both love and loathe the subject, with the opposing team then deciding which opinion is true. So, John, you are in the dock first of all. What is your chosen subject matter?
Anna Karenina by Tolstoy.
Okay, and are you going to start by loving or loathing Mr. Tolstoy's seminal work?
I think I'll start by loathing it, please, Sam.
Okay, please persuade the other team of your loathing.
Well, I bloody loathe Anna Karenina. It just goes on and on with this turgid prose style, and I struggled to finish it. I went to Brody's notes. I struggled to finish that as well. There's Vronsky and Oblinsky, all these names that you can't work out what they all are. Their translators should have just made it English, so it was like Kevin and Gary. And the heroine should have just been called Amanda Lubbock or something. And the actual conclusion of it, you think that Anna is going to hook up with Levin because there's these two narratives, and you think, oh, they're going to get together at the end. It'll be a nice romantic comedy. No, she falls under a train. You think, oh, well, that's a nice ending. I read all this just to see this woman throw herself under a train.
Can't believe it. I'm 3/4 of the way through the book.
Vronsky converts to Christianity at the end. It's a very, very long way of finding out that Leo Tolstoy is saying, hello, have you heard the good news about Jesus?
Well, let's hear the flip side of the coin. Please could you now love Anna Karenina?
And I completely love Anna Karenina. It was voted recently the finest novel of all time by a panel of about 100 distinguished novelists, and it's a brilliant microcosm of society. All manner of life and human emotion and experience is encapsulated in this sort of small Russian aristocratic world. And never did a male writer get so inside the head of a female protagonist, apart from the Spice Girls movie. It covers so many intellectual and philosophical and moral issues without ever preaching at you. You're always taken along in the story of it. And so for that reason, I think it's one of the finest books I've ever read.
Any questions?
You started the love by saying there were 100 great novelists who thought it was terrific, and that's just a fact, isn't it, rather than a love thing.
I think he seemed more sincere in his loathing.
I think he seemed more sincere in his loathing.
And I do. I mean, I kind of concur with that. I do find Anna Karenina. It's a little bit of a. And as much as I love tragic heroines, because I always cast myself in that role.
They never have really short tragic heroines, do they?
No.
They should have, except the men who go around, where'd she go? Where's she gone now?
She threw herself under a train at Legoland.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's not quite as good, is it?
Actually, that did happen to me once, funnily enough. Anyway. So you're going for loathing?
Maybe he's double bluffing. He's very clever. He's been on the show before. What do you think?
Yeah, he is incredibly clever.
Loathe, please.
Loathe, please. Do you love or loathe Anna Karenina, Mr. O'Farrell?
Of course.
He loves it. 2 points. Well done, John.
He did it last time as well.
One of the key literary devices subtly interwoven through the narrative of Anna Karenina is the motif of a moving train. Just one reason why it's not set in England. So now it is the turn of Lucy Porter. Mrs. Porter, what have you selected?
I have selected James Bond, the films.
The films, okay. And are you going to love or loathe the 007 oeuvre?
I think I should be loathing the oeuvre. Well, I loathe the James Bond films. I just think they're just incredibly far-fetched nonsense. And particularly as a woman, you kind of think James Bond is meant to be this incredibly charismatic man who women fall into bed with, but he's just a sort of a psychopath, a sort of remorseless killer, and that's meant to be sexy. It's not like you kind of go and watch Silence of the Lambs and go, oh, Hannibal Lecter, it's awful.
You speak for yourself.
Yeah. In the latest one, where it's exactly the same thing, again, they're also just quite lazy, they're just anachronistic. Also, just the puns and the way it's meant to be hilarious. I mean, things like, he's being, attacked by a snake, and he goes, oh, I had to kill it because it had a crush on me. And that's meant to be, that'd be like you're finding Giles Brandreth sexy. It's really just not. And
Depends on the sweater with Giles.
Well, to be honest, yeah.
Okay, I get the loathing. Has anybody got any questions?
So you've seen the latest Bond then?
Yeah.
Yeah, so why did you go and see it?
I forced myself.
I know, do like Paxman. Why did you go and see the latest Bond? If you don't like them?
No, I went to see it because my boyfriend dragged me along to see it.
Right, so you have loathed it. Now I require you please to love the James Bond films.
Because, of course, actually, I do really love the James Bond films because I think they're brilliant. And, because actually the women in them are really amazing. They're these sort of big, strong, powerful, kick-ass women with sort of lovely Russian girls with names like, Ida Lickubits or whatever. That bit where Ursula Andress comes out of the water, it's just the most beautiful thing. The lovely bit in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the ending of that, where it was lovely Diana Reagan, she dies and it's
that was terrible.
it was really sad. So it does everything. It's got fun. And I actually really like the puns. I think the silly puns are brilliant. That sort of that woman called Christmas where he says, oh, I thought Christmas only came once a year.
I didn't understand that joke.
I think it's a lovely bit of fluff, and the world is a better place with the James Bond film.
I'm going to have to press you.
Knowledge of Bond seems to be quite detailed.
She love.
We think she loves Bond.
She loves
a bit of Bond.
Okay, please reveal to us whether you love or loathe James Bond films.
Hey! Porter, a genius.
Oh, you sly! I love you, Lucy! You ripped the heart out of me!
2 points there to Chris and Lucy.
Can I do an evil Bond and turn around?
In some recent Bond films, former Fawlty Towers star John Cleese controversially played the part of R. However, producers vetoed the idea that Andrew Sachs should play his Spanish assistant, K. I can tell you that at the end of that round, Chris and Lucy have got 4 points, but still in the lead. Sue and John have got 7. Now, this is the last in the series. And currently, Chris has won one more show than Sue. So it's all to play for. In this final round, team captains must communicate the plot of a work of literature, film or song to their guests with no mention of names or places nor any allusions to the title. So as Sue and John are in the lead, they get to start. Here is your magic envelope and your 90 seconds begins now.
Tilting at windmills.
Don Quixote.
You wrote this razor advert.
Best a man can get.
I can cut hair, but I've got a very pale face and scars on it.
Hands.
I'm a song by a 4-person group from a town in. It's the name of a girl, actually.
Eleanor Rigby.
Yes. Comedy from the western side of a very famous capital city, which we're now in.
West
So
London.
it's West London.
Minder.
There's a studio there.
Ealing.
Yes, a very famous one.
The man in the white suit.
If you attack a girl, you are
Lady
and if
Killer.
she died,
Lady
yes.
Killer.
This is a play, and if I was a detective and I got a promotion, I'd be
Inspector.
And if I was to phone you, I'd
Inspector
be
Calls.
cross-dressing, hilarious comedy featuring the greatest stars of all time. There's two men in it.
Some Like It Hot.
Yes, and I am a very popular comedy about policemen in the west of this country.
Mind.
Oh, just another under the wire now. So 8 points there, which means that in total you've got 15. Oh, quite a lot of people. You need 12.
I mean, 12.
In order to.
It's never been done.
Yeah.
It's never even been attempted. You could die at that speed.
Go into it, you'll be mad.
So
Tell my wife I love her.
here's your card and your 90 seconds, and this is all to play for. This is whether Chris.
Oh, will you give over?
Or
Enough
draws
pressure as it is on
the
these pills.
series. 90 seconds starts now.
Okay, it's your favourite novel. It's the prequel to a well-known novel in which there's a mad woman in the attic.
Oh, it's White Dog Acid.
Yes, this is a film starring a well-known comedian who wears a white suit. He has not just one of the organs.
Oh, it's The Man with Two Brains.
Correct. This is an eating film referred to earlier by my Maloney colleagues about somebody in.
Man in the White Suit.
That's the one. This begins with monkeys, ends with a man being locked out of a spaceship.
2001.
Yeah.
Space Odyssey.
That's right. This sounds like that, but it's a pop song from the 70s.
Space Odyssey.
Yeah, that's it. This is a comic song about a man who's married 7 wives previously. He's the.
I'm Henry VIII.
That's the one. Yeah, this is an American play in which a couple have a meltdown in front of their.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
That's right. This is about a flying car.
Chitty Bang Bang.
This sounds like that, but it's actually Mr.
Ditty Wang.
It's fine.
Make it real!
This is from the man with the golden. This means so much to me.
Sorry.
Right.
Focus. Okay.
The title song from Man with the Golden Gun is called Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. If this nation was nowhere that people of an elderly and male bent were to live, it would be.
No Country for Old Men.
That's right. This is a famous novel set in New Orleans in which a big fat man.
Pregnancy of Dancers.
That's right. This is.
Oh,
baby.
I can tell you that you got 7 correct because I have to discount the man in the white suit because you said Ealing. I have to discount Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf because you said American. And I have to discount Confederacy of Dunces because you said New Orleans. At the end of all that excitement, our condolences to the defeated Chris and Lucy, who have 11 points, with this week's valiant winners being Sue and John with 15. Well, that means the series is a tie, so we may have to come back again.
Cliffhanger ending.
Yeah, cliffhanger ending. This has been What the Dickens. I've been Sandi Toksvig. I'm off to see the Scottish play. Leave there at home to Macedonia. I'll see you there. Good night.
And catch the Sky Arts Quiz Hour from 7 next week with Classic Mastermind, then What the Dickens at 7:30. Up next tonight on Sky Arts 1 and Sky Arts HD, Andy Warhol's Factory People.